This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian. Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching every movie on the top 250 movies of all time list, according to imdb.com. You can go to our website, mission250filmcast.com, where we have our entire list frozen, and you can see what movies are coming up next, and all the older episodes are there too. I'm one of your hosts, Denny, and joining me are
John
and TC.
And this week, we are watching number 156, which is the 1996 movie Fargo, directed by the Coen brothers, even though it says it's only Joel Coen. The synopsis of this movie is, Jerry Lundegaard's inept crime falls apart due to his and his henchmen's bungling and the persistent police work of the quite pregnant Marge Gunderson.
You want to try that again?
I don't know. I mean, Ethan, are you okay?
Bungling.
Bungling?
I wasn't expecting to read the word bungling.
Bungholing?
Yeah, that one. That's actually what it says.
I think William H. Macy is kind of attractive. I mean,
Yeah, he's kind of got that
amazing eyes, but anyway,
he's kind of got that middle-aged mouse person kind of look going on.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, in this particular role,
person.
I mean, normally he's more serious, but anyway, just trying to help you out, Denny. That's
yes.
all I'm just saying.
Thank you. Question mark. TC, would you want to describe what we do on this podcast each week?
Sure. So exactly 1.5 years ago.
That's right. It is 1.5 years.
It's amazing.
It's amazing how this works out. We took the IMDb Top 250 list, which is a user-based list that we decided to go backwards from 250 to 1. So we're watching a movie a week, and we're talking about it. I usually have something negative to say. Denny's got a bunch of trivia. John's got some good stuff to say. And then, we bicker. That's
nice.
about it.
Yeah. That's right.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And we take turns and who gets to review it first, and that is my turn this week.
Hey,
boy, you're talking funny today.
Am I? Shit, I got my radio voice on. Hey guys,
is that what it is?
Hello and welcome.
I'm trying to put a lot of, I don't know, emphasis on things. Trying to make it enjoy. I'm gonna good food, guys. Good food, Daddy.
Oh, all right. Well, we're going to try to kill that. Sorry. But yeah.
Anyway. All the, Coen Brother movies, I've seen this movie a ton of times. A lot of it on TV. This movie has been on TV.
Did you see it on TNT?
I did.
Like you said, you did?
Yes. And watching
Again,
it this time, it's kind of funny because I've seen this movie a lot and I know all of it very, very well, except for the first maybe 10 minutes because I never start it when it's on. Like you always see it. And it's like, oh, it just started. Click. But I never get the beginning.
Right.
Yeah. So I had no idea what the beginning was. And it's not like it's out. I mean, it's pretty good still, but it's not like I missed a lot. It's like a lot of driving and them talking about the deal and stuff. But I love this movie. It's probably you could say this is the best a lot of movies. This is the best snow-based movie. It's the best Minnesota movie easily.
Yeah.
How many other Minnesota movies do we have?
Are there a lot of those?
None?
Yeah, I don't know.
But easily
I don't
that.
think we have many.
Yeah. It does a good combination of being really disturbing sometimes, even at the same time is really funny. Like scenes that disturbed me when I was younger are still disturbing, but I find them funny. Like when Steve Buscemi is laughing at the woman as she's running away.
Yeah.
Earlier in my life, I was like, that's kind of disgusting because he's such an evil person that he's finding this suffering hilarious.
Right.
But now I don't know what's different about me, but I think it's pretty damn funny how he's laughing at this woman running around and it's kind of slapstick, but it's also really realistic kind of.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff like that where it could be viewed as comedy or just horror,
dark.
Horror works sometimes.
It makes me wonder what they were doing on set, what were they going for? Because if they were going for this, they're freaking geniuses. I mean, they kind of already people already think that about them, but it's just I'm not sure there's anything else like this. It's pretty close to as dark as No Country for Old Men, but then there's a whole other half of it that's humorous.
I know. It's insane.
It's not silly. It's just
it's not
ingrained.
silly.
Right. And then there's a part of it that's warmth. There's a real friendliness that's part of it too, which is also,
between the people and how they interact with each other, you mean?
Yeah. And Marge and her husband, that's a very sweet relationship between them.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's an interesting, I think you put it really well, Denny, in terms of sort of all the different sort of contrasting things you see here.
There's still parts like a lot of parts of this movie where I'm like, which one is the most emotion I have during that part? And I can't figure it out. Like, is that supposed to be funny? Is that supposed to be scary? It's both equally of each.
Or right,
That's
like
awesome.
which character am I supposed to be paying attention to in this scene?
Right.
It's hard to tell.
Man, I love it when this happens. Like this makes me, I think you're really getting on a really good point about this movie that makes me appreciate it. Like almost just like that a lot more, because you're totally right that you have with there are many scenes where you have like it's sort of kind of layered in terms of like what's going on. Like it could be horrifying, it could be funny.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
Yes, and
Yes,
I'm
sir.
the first one to ever realize this, by the way, John. Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, out of the three of us at
Yeah.
least.
Hey,
The internet's just a Twitter full of people who
I
like
did not
one or the
find
other.
this anywhere on the wiki page for the movie. So there you go.
Oh, nice. I will be adding it to it later and taking credit for myself. I can talk a lot about the parts. That's pretty much my general overview. What do you guys think? It sounds like you guys like this movie as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it paced really well, right? You don't feel bored one bit.
Right.
Every single scene is important to the next one. It's like there's no fill. It moves, or the story moves right along.
I think there's one scene that could be taken out, personally.
Which
Oh,
one's
yeah.
that?
You have any guesses?
I can guess.
Yeah, go
one,
for it.
One guess might be it's the Marge and the guy that she runs into. That whole scene with them
Yep.
having a
Yep.
drink.
Yep. I can see that. Yeah, I'm not sure what that did there.
No, neither do I. And it's kind of funny, but like it's also completely unnecessary to the
I
movie.
saw like reading through the trivia in IMDb that they part of that was just to show what kind of person Marge is and how she reacts to something else other than being with her husband or being doing her police work. But yeah, I felt like that was just strange. It was just odd.
You're such a super
That
lady.
was a really weird thing going on. You're right.
Yeah.
Odd
Such
in
a
sense,
super
not only
lady.
is it superfluous, but then all it seems to really do is just make this one guy look really sad and
Yeah.
pathetic.
Yeah.
And that sort of seems strange when that's like the takeaway from this extra scene. It maybe it's supposed to like reveal Marge's character, but he
Well,
just,
because she turns him down right away, right? Like that's the only thing that you could get from there.
yeah, and she's like, oh no, and how she deals with like again, she does it great. I mean, it's really fun to watch her in this role. I mean, she's fantastic, and
Yeah.
and it's really fun to watch it in that sense, to watch her. But this side of it, but his side is really kind of sad and pathetic, and it makes uncomfortable. And yeah, you sort of wonder. I'm sort of like, why? I was thinking exactly that during this. It's like, why is this here? What?
Yeah,
why
and
are we going?
if you read
Why
it,
are we doing this?
yeah, and if you like listen to the Coen brothers, why they put it in there, it's to develop, like you said, John, the Marge's kind of character outside of work or her husband. But the movie's not about that at all, and that's pretty obvious because the movie begins and ends with this one case, and she's not in the movie until like 35 minutes in.
Right.
So it's not about her character.
No,
Right.
but it kind of is. I don't know.
But you could say if it's about her character, then it's also about everybody else's character in the movie.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I see it sometimes.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I was noticing that too. I was like, wow. And I looked at it's like 33 minutes before Marge shows up.
yeah.
I love
So-
that opening scene with her, or that opening part of her character, which they're talking and she's making the assumptions, and the other guy's just like repeating what she
Yeah,
says.
I'll
and
make
it
you some
sounds
eggs.
So dumb.
Yeah. Is he supposed to be simple? Like, what's going on there?
I think he's just supposed to be simple. Yeah.
He's just, well, not necessarily that. It's just they're just very relaxed together too. It's just I thought it was very sweet. It just seemed very like I don't know, very kind. Like they were being very kind to each other. The background story was that they were both in the police force, but she was a much better cop than him, and so they were just deciding who was going to stay home and take care of the kid or whatever. I don't know,
Yeah.
but that was kind of the supposed backstory. But he seems very sweet and.
He's a nice guy cooking eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
He seemed
and
kind of
he's-
rude to some of the other people.
Oh,
When they're
really?
eating at the
Really?
buffet, he's like, "Hey, I thought you were going ice fishing," and he kind of like looks annoyed. And he's like, "After lunch." And you're like, "Oh, weird."
No, it didn't seem that. I didn't see it as weird. It was just more like, nah, after lunch. I don't know. I
It's
didn't
like,
see that as-
doop-de-doop-doop-de-doo.
I think one of the best characters that was in it was that guy that told the story and then said, "End of story."
Oh yeah, that was great.
I was laughing, so I forgot about that part. He just he tells a story, and it's just matter of fact, and then end of story.
Yeah, she told me to call it in, so I called it in.
So
End of story.
Yeah, okay, there. That was a pretty cool scene.
What a great way to get your point across. Like you don't have to talk anymore after that.
Very succinct.
Yeah,
I know.
When you guys pointed out, that's another one that's really brilliant. There, where I mean, it only serves the purpose to like give the lead on the where the cabin could be, so that Francis's character ends up circling that lake to find it. But it's such this slice of of kind of the culture, or the
he's just mopping his freaking sidewalk outside.
Yeah.
No, he's like, what is that?
He's like brooming it. He's like brooming it or something.
Yeah, brooming.
You're squeegeeing it. You're getting the water out of there so that when it freezes,
so it doesn't ice
turn to
over.
ice. Yeah.
Shows how much we know, John. You live in Minnesota.
I'm
Don't you know?
now.
You got to mop your driveway, don't you know?
You betcha.
You betcha.
Is this so? Do you know anybody that has this accent, John?
Yeah, you hear it. It was exaggerated for
Really?
effect. I mean, in the movie, and they say that, but you can hear the don't you know? You hear this kind of friendly, sing-songy speech. So it definitely is there. It's not as strong maybe as you might hear it in the movie, but yeah, you can hear it here. If you not
do you
not
trust
everybody.
those people more when you hear it?
Do
you like them more?
I would say that the people here are very friendly. I mean, and there's a friendliness that sort of seems to come along with that kind of, you just, it's like relaxing, or it seems like these people aren't out to, try to take advantage of you or anything like that. So it definitely comes across. I mean, but that's more, I don't necessarily equate that with the way people speak here, but I just have found, and again, I used to be in Boston. So compared to Boston, people are friendly. Because nobody's calling me names,
Oh, what are you shoveling your driveway, guy?
What are you doing? Yeah. That was, I always remember my first experience in Boston, where we were out there for a conference, and we went to this convenience store, and we were just buying something. There was somebody else like looking in the magazine back there, and the store clerk was like, "What are you doing back there? What are you doing back there?
Hey,
you going to buy something? What are you doing?
What are you doing back there?"
Never heard anybody talk to anybody else like that.
Yeah. Hey, I told you once, I told you a million times. Yeah. Get out of there. If you're not buying, get out.
Yeah.
See, my point of view is, living in Boston for 10 years, is that everybody wants to be calling you an asshole, and only people in Boston do, so they're the only ones you can trust to tell you the truth.
Because they're genuine. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's honest jerks.
Yes.
Yep.
I prefer
it's better than silent jerks.
Yes.
There's certainly, at least again, there's so much more hostility in Boston, and here there's really a friendliness.
Well, no. Oh, well, yeah, in Minnesota, I would think those two are hard to correlate.
I got an argument with a guy last week because he wanted to give me $2 for 5 quarters. Guy on a motorbike, he's like parking at the parking meter, and he's like, "Hey, you got some quarters?" I was like, "I need some quarters for the meter," and I was like, "Sure. How many do you need?" He's like, "Oh, I need like 5." It was like 4:30, and I was like, but first I was like, "Well, here."
Wait, so why does 4:30 matter?
Well, because the meters stop at 5, so he only needed 2. And but he's like, "No, here, take $2. No, give me 1. No, here's $2. And I'm walking back. I was like, "Hey, it's 4:30. You only need like 2 quarters." He's like, "No, I don't care. Wow, that was like this.
He's already been. He's arguing about being gracious, like being.
Yeah. Dude, on the inside, he's like, "Dude, stop talking to me. I'm in a rush.
Dude, I want the fucking quarters. I'll give you $10 to shut up right now.
Yeah,
give me the dollar."
Just super friendly the whole time. Where it's just like, nah.
Meanwhile, smash cut to Boston. "Hey man, do you have any quarters? Go fuck yourself. Get your own quarters. What's the matter with you? I got no fucking change for you.
This is my parking space. I was here first.
Yeah. Hey, you see the chair in it? It's my space. Anyways, what are you doing with your quarters? Get out of here. Screw.
Oh, the cafeteria with a shovel if you don't get out of my space.
Yeah. So anyways, that was like, it's funny to see such a different type of people on screen too, right? Like I'm used to either the LA ones or the Boston ones, but not the middle, right.
Yeah, and I mean, even like William H. Macy's character is not very nice, and like he's really bad at faking it because he's so frustrated. He's amazing in this movie.
Yeah.
There's a couple other people that were in front of him to be in this role, and I can't imagine this movie without him. Whenever I see him in other movies, I think of Jerry Lundegaard in this movie.
Yeah, he just does that head shaking while he's speaking, like he's kind of like flabbergasted at like what's happening, and he doesn't really know what to do. And
no, he's not smart enough to get himself out of this, but he's struggling. It is really an amazing performance. I agree, and and his sort of like
his look helps. He's got like resting,
helps.
defeated face. You know what I mean?
He does.
And
That's
along
good.
with these huge eyes, he's like got cartoon eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
man.
every time where he like flips out and then afterwards he's like, well, that didn't help. And he goes back to doing what he was doing. It's awesome. I love it.
Like the one memorable part of that is when he's like starts beating the shit out of his car. Because he's just, and then he's like, yeah, okay, then go back and get this done.
All right, then.
Yeah. And it's this great combination of like, still just like going back to the routine kind of, and at the same time just making such a terrible mess of things.
And he can hide. You can tell he's hiding behind like the fake happy persona of all these other people.
Yeah. I think that's what they're trying to say, that to some extent, for some people, maybe it's an act, right? And he's like, it's just amazing how like, I wanted...
Just a sec. Open the door, sir. Just a sec.
Just a sec. Oh, just a sec.
He's running away. Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute.
It's so good.
Like Boston. Come on, you coppers.
Yeah,
I ain't going back to jail.
I ain't going. You come and get me. You're going to kill me too. I'll take you out with me.
Oh, yeah, be there in a minute.
Be there in a minute. No, don't be there in a minute. It's great. I mean, it's such a perfect setting for this story, too.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a character. It's a character in itself, really. The setting is a character.
Yeah, there's great shots of the the road, the driving in the snow, the way they do that, the like long expanses of showing the fences but a lot of the driving scenes are really well done too. Like and the score is great too in terms of how it like backs that up. Yeah. So it's impressive, I think. Yeah. And of course, you got the Prince cameo. So that's cool.
I've read about that. What the hell is that?
So
it didn't happen, right? It's Go ahead and explain it. I read
I
that
didn't even know this. I didn't even know.
I'd like to just like float it out there that it really did, but it certainly did not. But but
I saw
really
that they put Prince's symbol in the credits for the guy
lying on its side because he's dead.
Yeah. But it was actually the storyboard artist that played the guy who was running away from the car wreck.
But Prince is a Minnesota native, and they're really big about like it's actually kind of cool. Like, and I imagine a lot of places are like this. I don't know. Actually, Boston wasn't really like this. It didn't seem, but they love local radio stations here. In the Bay Area, and they not the Bay Area. What the hell am I talking about?
I'm in the Bay Area. You switched minds with me there for a second.
Sorry. In the the Twin Cities. They love the artists that are born and raised here, and so we have Prince, and we have Bob Dylan. So a lot of
is that it? Is it those two?
Talking about Prince, those are the main ones. Those are the biggies.
That's even less than that's even less than Boston.
Boston had the Pixies and Aerosmith. What else did and Boston? I guess were they from Boston? I guess so.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. We got Soul Asylum. Oh shit! I forgot.
Soul Asylum.
Soul Asylum.
We also had the Replacements.
Oh.
And I love the Replacements.
Yeah, they're good.
So they were also big here. And Husker Du too was kind of big for a while. But yeah, the Replacements, Prince, and Bob Dylan, who like grew up here, I guess, but didn't necessarily stay here for very long.
You got too big for the Twin Cities. That Bobby boy,
maybe so. But yeah, I think it's great. I mean, they both happen to be artists I really like. So, but you'll hear that on almost any radio station. You'll hear Prince and the Replacements. So it's kind of cool.
So how far away are you from the Twin Cities?
So I'm about an hour away in Rochester.
And is it like the place to go if you want to do stuff?
Sure, it's a real city with real stuff.
There's people there, Danny. I swear. There's actual people there. Trust me.
They have nightlife and they're open past 10. I swear to God.
Apparently they're super nice. Hey, how are you?
No, they had all kinds of stuff going on there. I mean, they got it's a happening place.
I was reading that like 60% of the state lives in the Twin Cities.
That would make sense.
That's crazy. Yeah. That means that means that no one lives near you is what that means.
Yeah, we're good over here.
We're good. We don't need them.
People can stay the fuck away.
We don't need them.
Yeah. Yeah, who else is good in this movie is small roles. I thought
if I were to, as much as I love Steve Buscemi, it's almost like a character type for him to play this kind of guy. So it's like not surprising, sort of. Like this is almost like a little stereotype for him in a way.
What? This is his role.
Yeah,
he's
I know.
Typecast.
I know, but I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. It's like so it's not like it doesn't seem fresh or anything. It's like, yeah, that's what Steve does.
Shot in your fucking face. Shot in the fucking face.
Yeah, I mean,
that was really good, Denny.
Yeah, it's good, but he did it better in Reservoir Dogs.
Fuck
for
no.
example.
I don't know about that, dude. I think
Yeah.
that both are pretty damn good. He's like at 10 this entire movie. It's so good.
Yeah, he's so good.
I
in
know.
this.
All right. I'll take it back.
Yeah. How dare you shit on Steve Buscemi and Fargo,
I'm
John?
not.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
I am worthless. I'm just saying, trying to say, like, compared to like what William H. Macy did, you've seen like Steve do this kind of thing, and so it's not like a real surprise.
But could anyone else do this like Steve Buscemi?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So no, the answer there is no, right?
You're right. You're totally right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and he didn't.
anyway.
Steve Buscemi did not get nominated for this movie, which is crazy.
Yeah. They probably thought the same thing we did. Yeah, we kind of saw him do that in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah. How many other movies is Steve Buscemi in? Can't think. Oh, he's in The Big Lebowski. That's actually coming up pretty soon.
Oh,
yeah.
He's in
That's
the
the
Big Lebowski.
dude.
Yeah. And because of this, I mean, they wrote this role for Steve Buscemi. And the next movie they did, the Coen brothers, was Big Lebowski, and they wrote his role for him too.
Sure.
And he had so many speaking lines in this movie that like they told him to shut the fuck up over and over again in The Big Lebowski.
Right.
Yeah.
That's nice. Oh, that's a great carryover.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Tons of trivia about Big Lebowski coming up next.
Hey. Awesome.
Who else we got? What other kind of tiny characters we got that are good in this movie?
So the trooper is awesome. Like the when Marge is out there investigating the scene, and he's kind of deadpan. He's
Oh yeah, Marge. Oh, okay, Marge.
You okay there, Margie?
I think he got a partial plate DLR.
I'm not sure I agree with your
I'm
first
not
there,
sure I
Luke.
agree. I love the way that she does that so politely too.
I'm not sure I agree with you
there.
Yeah.
I think it's dealer plates there.
Yeah.
Oh, and he doesn't even get mad. He's like, oh.
I don't even think he gets it. Like I think he's so stupid that he doesn't get that. And when she tells the joke, he wasn't even like listening or something. Right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, that's a good one.
But she's like telling the joke to like smooth it over. Actually, she's like,
You think that's what it is?
Yeah. Well, I sort of thought like she felt a little bad to point it out, and she's like then smoothing it out. Kind of. Yeah. Those scenes are great, and it's again kind of amazing to take just these small interactions and make them so like watchable and interesting. Sort of like, I mean, and they're the murder and or they're seeing these horrible things, and she's like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
And yet it's still comic. Like it's like again what you were saying earlier, Denny, this combination of things, which is really impressive.
Just the way she's describing, like she first of all shows in a really good way how awesome of a detective she is. Like in the first, scene of she pretty much gets the entire crime scene dead right, like instantly.
Right.
And it doesn't seem unbelievable at all because she kind of walks herself through it, and she's not like disturbed with any of the violence or anything. Like when she's like, oh, gunshot wound to the head and the hand, must be a defensive wound. And you're like, how are you not throwing up right now? They're like, you're looking at a dead body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who looks like a nice enough fella. And you're like, he's dead. It's a dead body.
Well,
dead body.
It's like, it's a shame.
Yeah.
And Stormare is not a small part, but man, he's awesome as well in this. He's great.
Which one's that?
Sort of. Stormare is the Buscemi's partner.
Oh,
Just menacing, weird, sort of like just kind of drooling almost, but not saying much. But
his eyes just half closed the entire time.
Yeah, he's just scary.
Yeah.
He's like, and the scenes like leading up to that, where he chases down the people in the car and all of that. That's again very well done and very terrifying.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, there are parts that aren't funny.
Right. There's
Like
there's no humor there in that,
Yeah.
and it's just oof.
And like some of the reaction shots, like Steve Buscemi, there's just stuff in this movie I haven't seen before since pretty much like his reaction shot of when the cop gets shot.
Right.
Like you can kind of feel his lightheadedness when he's just like, whoa, daddy. Like he's probably just like dizzy and like doesn't feel alive or awake, You can kind of get that sense from him as he's acting. It was just, Steve Buscemi is good, John. He's good.
He's good.
He's good.
I am a big fan of the dude.
Yeah.
I mean Steve as well. But yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I will see. I will say. All I was just saying is that there are hints of this in the other things that he does for sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
But that's kind. He is more of like a character actor, kind of playing. Although again,
I think he's just
great
playing himself.
It could be.
Yeah. What was the?
He's in a couple Adam Sandler movies as completely different things.
Yeah. No,
Crazy
he was
Eyes?
Great in,
Crazy
Ghost
Eyes
World.
is pretty funny.
What are you, my therapist? Take a walk.
Yeah.
It's Boston.
He was really good in Ghost World too.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah. But he plays just a more normal person in that too, and he's great. Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Yes.
He's a great actor.
Nice. We've
A
established that now.
firefighter, as every 2 months or so, in Reddit that comes up that he's also a firefighter.
Yep. So who is the guy that the mechanic vouched for? I tried to figure that out this time. I couldn't.
Oh, it was Steve.
Was it?
Yes, because why would he beat Steve as if he knew him?
Well, why would Steve, as he was leaving, I agree, but why would Steve, as he was leaving the cabin, say, tell your buddy whatever, I'm going to pin him too, or whatever he says.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah.
Shit, he did. Well, then that makes me rethink it. So that must mean that he tracked Steve down to beat him up.
Yeah. Which is weird, because how would he have done that? Right?
Well, now maybe he even, good call out, Denny. Now I'm confused.
Yeah. I'm
assumed-
also confused. I was like, who is it? Because he's like, I don't vouch for him. I vouch for the other guy. And I'm like, which one is he talking about? I don't know.
Right. I assumed that he vouched for Steve's character because he tracks him down and beats him up like he knows him.
Yeah.
Sort of. How did he know how to find him? How did he otherwise, right?
Yeah. But they were both in prison, and the other guy seems a lot more like he had been in prison than Steve's character. Because Steve would probably get the shit beat out of him in prison if he talked like that.
For sure.
Right. And Stormare's character certainly acts more like the hardened criminal as well, right?
Yeah. He's totally fine with murder,
Yeah. Oh no, he's he's completely psychopath kind of. So you're right. I think maybe we got to go with Stormare. Maybe we got to assume that Stormare was the contact because that makes more sense. He knew that Stormare would be able to do the job. Maybe. Although the other yeah.
So then why would what's his name, the mechanic guy, beat up Steve Buscemi's character and not Stormare?
Right. Well, because Steve's the one who brought. That's why I thought he'd beat up Steve. He'd beat up Steve because Steve brought in this other guy who was a killer to help him.
Right.
How did Steve know Stormare's character anyway? Because they seemed like they would not get along.
Yeah. And they seemed like they just met each other pretty much.
Right.
That's true.
So why would they hook up and do the buddy heist thing? The buddy kidnapping thing. Why on earth did they team up? I have no idea.
Yeah.
These are all
because they had done a mission before. Definitely not. Yeah. Because he's like,
right.
Dude, he was making fun of him for not talking. You would have already been used to that if you had gone on a road trip with this guy before.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. That's I wonder if he's just there's only two slackers around. There's nobody there. It's like we got these two bums. These two guys will do it.
Responded to the Facebook group or whatever.
Shep was like, I know two guys. One's an asshole, one doesn't speak.
Yeah.
You want those guys? Oh, that'd be great, eh? Oh, yeah. That sounds
they're not
good.
Canadian, they're Minnesotan.
Oh, I don't care. It's all the same.
Yeah, not A.
Hey, it's yeah, it's E. It's all that. That shows how much I know.
It could be. So, TC, I think you might be onto something that Shep, that's his name, right? The mechanic?
Yeah, the mechanic.
Yeah. He might have given the name to both of them, but only vouched for one of them.
True.
Right?
So like how he beat the shit out of him at the...
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm reading on Reddit, there's this exact question. Top answer is, I think that Carl was unknown to Shep.
Unknown to Shep, okay.
Yeah, so Shep pins him for the fuck up in the plan since he doesn't know him. I don't think Shep was lying. I figure Carl probably knew who Shep was because Grimsrud briefed him on how they got the job in the first place.
Wait, say that again?
So I guess Grimsrud,
Are we saying their names right?
Probably not.
Grimsrud? He briefed Carl on how they got the job in the first place. I don't remember that in the movie.
Did he? I don't remember that either.
This is, by the way, thanks to Cat Fungus _Inc.
Nice. Thank you, Cat Fungus.
Cat Fungus. It's a weird name to pick.
That's a disgusting
Just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grimsrud. Showalter.
Although then we have another report by...
Let's hear it. Different take. Let's go.
Wait a minute.
Toe sludge? Is it toe sludge _ penning?
Toe sludge.
It wasn't cat fungus. It was fungus.
Oh God.
Oh. What's wrong with these people?
God, Reddit. Way to go.
I bet those two would link up well for a murder.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I censored my own eyes.
He did the look away. He did the look away mid-read.
Yeah.
Your brain lied to you, John.
Yeah, I know. It was like, that's not what it is.
That's not. It can't be. Oh, it's that. Oh my God. God, what's wrong with these people?
Didn't think we were going to merit a beep during this episode, but good job, John.
So, yeah, we probably should.
Yeah.
So Fungus himself then actually goes back on his own word and says, I always was under the impression that it was Carl that Shep knew, not Grimsrud. Carl seems more like the kind of guy to make connections in prison, while as Grimsrud being the unvetted loose canon makes more sense in terms of the events that transpire. It also explains why Carl does seem familiar with Shep when Shep comes a knocking, and pissed with Grimsrud when they meet back up, since he effectively took the beating on his behalf. See, I don't know.
Either way, it doesn't make sense that he only beat up Steve Buscemi.
Right.
Because if he could find Steve Buscemi in a rented out hotel room fucking a prostitute, then he knows where they're staying.
Wait. Now we have Philo_T Farnsworth, who responds later.
Oh, my man, Philo.
Quoting, this is from the movie.
Give us the good Philo.
Jerry says, "Say, Shep, how you doing there? Say, you know those two fellows you put me in touch with up there in Fargo?" And Shep says, "Put you in touch with Grimsrud." Jerry says, "Well, yeah, but he had a buddy there. I vouch for Grimsrud," says Shep. So there we go. Done.
Okay.
So not the other one.
He's pretty hard to understand in his little mumbly voice.
I know. But according to the,
That makes sense.
Shep says Grimsrud, there you go.
So that still doesn't really answer the question of how Steve Buscemi got into the equation.
Right.
Because he's kind of saying, no, it was just one guy. When he's like,
right. He vouched for Grimsrud. So why did Grimsrud is the one who recruited Steve's character, Carl?
By himself?
Why? Right. Why would Grimsrud end up with Carl?
Yeah.
Did they meet in the pen?
Maybe. And I mean, Steve he wasn't so prone to being violent, but he was okay with it. He murdered people towards the end.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
true.
It's not like he was totally, sane or whatever. I don't know.
Let's say, you want to hear Philo T. Farnsworth's continuing theory?
Yes, he seems like a smart dude. I want to hear it.
Yes.
So,
if you're listening, please reach out. We want to meet.
Yeah, that's Philo. Thank you. We would vouch for you. I always kind of assumed Grimsrud was lazy and planned on playing Showalter for a full day entire time, making him do the dirty work while keeping his own hands mostly clean.
And then killing him at the end? Was that a part of the plan?
Possibly, right.
Whoa.
Right. So like he knew this guy was an idiot. Or maybe Grimsrud knew that the entire venture was a risky proposition from the get-go and pulled Showalter in to take the fall if the shit hit the fan. As for Shep, consider when Marge questioned him at the dealership about the phone call, it's pretty clear that if he didn't know Showalter prior to that phone call, he damn sure knew about him after and vice versa. Next thing you know, Shep is MIA. Jerry tries to find him at the dealership and he's split on a mission to find Showalter and dispense a little street justice for getting questioned by the cops about a murder.
How did he find Showalter?
I do not know.
Maybe he's
familiar.
Where
was Showalter?
Steve Buscemi had been to these places before, right?
Right.
Because he was like, I know where we can get laid. So he's like familiar.
Right.
So, but
how would Shep, where did he catch up with him and beat him with the belt? Where was that?
Some hotel he rented.
Some hotel where he was with the hooker.
That was in the hotel where he was with the hooker when they saw the concert of the guy who I do not know. But
who was the guy that Shep beat up in the hallway? There's like a guy that came knocking and he went out and like strangled some dude.
I think that was just a guy. Just a random guy.
Just some other guy in the hotel room next door.
Like, I'm going to help. Holy shit, you're huge. Yeah. Ow. Shouldn't have done that. Never going to be nice again.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, good point though, Denny. You're on a roll tonight.
Well, I've seen a lot of this movie. He's on a roll. His brain's moving faster than his mouth. That's all.
Am I still sounding like a radio show host, John?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
And welcome back, Denny.
Yeah. All we need are some drops.
Yes.
You know?
We need some sound
stupid
bits.
noises. Yeah.
Maybe talk to Sean. Get some of those drops in there.
Oh, how do you?
We need to set up a MIDI keyboard and just like have someone be able to play stuff. Imagine how annoying that would be. We'd be like the dumbest sounding podcast.
Yes.
So we should do it.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Got to stand out. Got to be the best at something. Be the best at being the worst. Why not?
It doesn't sound good.
No. His father. Like, what was Jerry's plan when his father-in-law went and Jerry followed him? Like, what was he going to do?
I have no idea. I have no idea why put him in the trunk of the, but I think he had no idea.
That was another question.
Else
Where's the body of the father?
In the trunk.
Trunk. But then what
of his car?
Yeah, but where does he put that?
In the trunk. It stays in the trunk. It's probably still in the trunk.
And he just drove
the hotel.
He just drove it home?
No, he drove it to the hotel that he was like hiding out at.
Drove it? I made you say drived.
Drived it?
He drove
it. But he drived it.
We're all not speaking good tonight. Apparently. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, God.
He drove it. Yeah, but it's in the trunk, man. Body's in the trunk.
Didn't they? No, there was one point, too, where they said, like, towards the end of the movie, they said, like, Lundegard and Gustafson. And the only reason they would say those two names together is if they found the bodies of the wife and the father-in-law. Because they're not looking for Gustafson. They're looking for Jerry Lundegaard, but they could have found Gene Lundegaard and Wade Gustafson.
Right.
I don't even remember by name who those people are.
Yeah, I'm reading off IMDb right now.
Yeah, I'm like, I couldn't tell you who we're talking about at this point.
I would assume they hadn't found the body of the dad because it was pretty clear that he drove off. He put the body in the trunk and drove off, right? From that.
But then why would they have said his last name? He's the only person named Gustafson.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they probably found it at some point.
Maybe
Dude,
he dumped it
how
somewhere.
bad do you feel for freaking Scotty in this movie?
Yeah, he's so screwed.
Yeah. His
Poor
life is
dude.
going to suck a lot forever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was already a wimp. He's already whining, you know?
Oh,
I don't know. He's hanging out at McDonald's. He's going out for hockey.
he's being a normal teenager, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I feel pretty bad for him. He's screwed. His mom's dead.
His
and
dad's an idiot.
Going to be
In jail.
prison for an idiot.
His grandfather's dead.
What was Lundegaard doing? What was his scam? How did he lose all the money in the first place?
That was another one of my questions.
I think he just over leveraged himself.
Well, no, but he
With
was
the
doing
car?
something with serial
with
numbers, like
well, because he was taking loans off it to pay for other
Sure.
shit, right?
But what did he have? Some kind of drug or gambling habit?
I would
mean,
think
it's not
just like the house, the wife, stupid shit.
Yeah.
And he
regular
needed
money.
he needed 900. What was it? He needed $960,000
to pay off all the loans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a lot more than.
I think
I
what
don't
he
know.
did was he was like, I can get fronted the money now. I'm, speaking like a true scammer here. Front the money
All right.
now from
Carry on.
the cars, and then I'll figure out a way to get the money back. So by the time they figure out that something's wrong, I'll have the money to pay it, and they
and I'll
won't
be
come
good.
after me. Right.
But what is he spending the money on?
I thought it was just like normal stuff, like the house. I mean, he lived in a nice place.
He did, but it seems like it's more than that. Yeah.
It was $1 million.
Yeah, I felt like he must have had a gambling addiction or something.
Yeah.
there,
I
but we
don't know,
never
but
got to hear
I guess
anything.
it could be over time because you could get yourself into a hole pretty bad, and it just gets worse when you owe interest.
Yeah.
I love it. I do Google searches and I get auto completes on this stuff.
Oh, I
Fargo,
bet.
why did Lundegaard need the money?
I bet.
That's great. What is it? Something bleep. What is it?
It's best if I can find a Reddit entry on this, but I don't. Usually, here's movies.stockexchange.com, which I did not
trust
know
it.
existed.
I trust
I trust it. Send it.
Yeah.
Send it. Send
Stock
it.
exchange and movies, both
Yeah,
trustworthy
makes
words.
sense.
I like
Makes
it.
sense.
Nobody. The debts are anonymous. Nobody seems to say.
Well, duh. It doesn't say in the movie they're anonymous, but we're speculating here. Come on.
Maybe he's got a hooker problem. Maybe he does.
Maybe.
Maybe he does blow and hookers on the weekend.
All right, we're gonna try the home theater forum.
Wow, we're
Seems,
diving deep on the internet here.
Yeah, someone says Tino, who has a picture of Jaws as his avatar, says he thought it was mentioned in the film that it was gambling related.
Nope, it was not. You're wrong, Tino.
I don't think so.
I think it was gambling.
Yeah.
No, watch the movie again, dude. It's not in there.
I think I heard my friend at a party once say it was gambling.
Yeah, people are saying the easy explanation is because he defrauded the dealership, but yeah, we know that. We just want to know why.
Yeah,
he
you
had
need to
do that in
spend the
first
money.
place.
Like, he doesn't have the money anymore. Where'd it go?
Yeah,
You need to spend it on you need to spend it on something. You can't just get rid of money.
Yeah,
You
right?
can't. I do it all the time. I don't know
Yeah,
where it
but
all
you-
goes.
All right. We'll try Quora here. Well, okay. So somebody says that he's unsuccessful as a car salesman, so he wasn't getting any commission.
Oh,
or
so
anything.
nobody's paying.
Yeah. This is Maggie McDonald.
Oh,
on
we
Quora.
love
Thanks,
Maggie.
Good job, Maggie.
I like this read from Reddit. This is a
Yeah.
good little corner that we've got going on here.
Reddit corner.
little
Yeah.
sewing corner
All right,
together.
what do we get from the internet?
Come join us. We're gonna knit and we're gonna read from Reddit.
Let's try Yahoo Answers here.
Oh God, that got worse fast.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
Best answer.
Hey, look.
I watched it recently, so we have an expert here.
Okay.
And I believe the person's avatar name is Nickelodeon. I watched it recently, and it was mainly because of his dealership and due to the fact that he's a greedy bastard.
But greedy? If he's in debt, if he greeds the money and holds on to it, then he's going to have money to pay back the loans and stuff.
I mean, I felt like every time he came home with groceries, he had too many.
He's a bad shopper.
Yeah,
That's
Kevin's
what he
just a
is.
really bad grocery shopper. He was just getting the most expensive shit you could find, and always coming home with two full bags of shit that no one's using.
Jerry, your wife isn't home. You know this. Why 2 bags, Jerry? Come on.
Jerry, it doesn't always have to be organic, Jerry. Come on.
Hey, I told you we have enough for 2 weeks. Nah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. See, I did the
Jerry,
this time.
stay away from the Whole Foods, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
Jerry, don't get bananas and apples. We can never finish all of them. Then we just have fruit flies.
I've told you this once. I've told you 1,000 times.
Maybe we should go to whackbag.com for the answer.
The fuck is whackbag.com?
I don't like this. I don't like this. Whackbag sounds scary.
You were saying it like you knew, like you've been there before. Like, of course.
No,
How did I forget whackbag?
Let's ask whackbag.
John Stricker at whackbag.com is my email address.
You got Siri, you got Google, and you got whackbag.
How do you, there's no search button. Oh, you got to whack the bag to search it.
Oh, makes sense.
This link is not responding.
Oh, you don't say.
Does that mean the website is available? Dude, I'm going to go buy that right now.
Go buy
Whackbag.com. Go daddy.
Check us out on whackbag.com/M250.
Whack.
Oh, God, that's funny.
.com.
Yeah, that's...
What? How do you spell whack? Because whackbag.com is available.
Yeah, WACK bag.
Oh, I did WHACK bag.
Oh, like
No,
whack,
this
like
is
it's
just-
whack, like it's slang. You didn't. Yeah, it's
Oh, dude, it's $4,000 for this domain.
what? Why?
Whack bag. I don't know.
That's some expensive whack bag.
That's expensive.
That's a
whack
premium
bag.
whack.
A whap bag. Is that one available? Whap bag.
Oh, whack bag.
Wow, we've really
Is that
digressed
with
on
an
this
H
one.
or without an H?
I don't know.
Oh, $1. Whack bag.
Done. Check us out
Sold.
on whackbag.com, everybody.
Go get it.
Do we agree on the spelling? WHAPBAG?
I'm in. I'm for it. $1.
Oh, dude,
I got a
I'm
quarter.
buying whack
I got
bag.
35 cents.
Now I just have to invent a little toy for little kids that's like stupid and pointless, but you can sell for $3 called whack bag.
Put it up on
I'll be
Amazon.
rich.
You'll be rich.
I'll be rich.
Passive income, baby.
Yeah.
Kids are whacking bags and whapping bags, and there you go. Sounds like it might be dangerous, though.
Yeah, maybe. Did you guys know that it says like true story in the beginning, but it's not a true story at all?
Oh, I was wondering. I was actually going to ask you that.
Yeah. You hear about that, John?
No, what was
Fake
that?
true story. John's reading about Whackbag over there.
It's a
I'm
thing.
sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
why did
sorry,
they do
yeah.
that? Just to get your interest and be like, wait, this is real?
So this is the based on true events,
Yeah.
but not really. Yeah. So, I mean, there were a couple of things that sort of happened. Like somebody got in a wood chipper and somebody who was in a car dealership was scamming the dealer or the maker of the cars. But yeah, it was just, I think they just wanted to set this tone of like a real life detective story, sort of. That's all they wanted to do. That was really all. That was it. That was what they wanted to do. They just wanted to set a tone of like that's the style of the movie that they wanted to make.
Yeah.
I
they
feel like
did
at
that
the
throughout,
time
like-
too, there wasn't an internet, so you couldn't.
Right,
you
yeah,
wouldn't be
yeah.
like in the theater being like, "What the fuck? This is real? No shit."
Why haven't I heard about this? This is a crazy story.
Right. And then you'd be Googling, missing the opening sequence.
Yeah. How did you
Yeah.
used to find out stuff like this back before the internet?
The
I
encyclopedia.
remember you used to not be able to. Yeah. Like you'd have to go to the library,
Yeah.
and if your library didn't have a random book on it,
Right.
and stuff like this, you'd have to go through your newspapers. And
Right. Yeah.
yeah, that
The
would
old days.
That would suck.
You have to wait for the Encyclopedia Britannica to
Yeah.
weigh in on the issue.
You got to wait your turn for the microfiche machine.
Ooh,
Oof.
damn, those
Jeez.
things.
Microfiche.
Jeez.
Remember that?
I don't ever think I've used one, but
Oh no,
I remember it.
tiny little newspapers. Very
Yeah.
cute.
Very cute.
Why did he get a car for those guys? Why didn't they just steal a car? Because that part of the plan is very bad. Because then it's traceable back to him.
Right. No, man, you're right. It seems terrible. It seems really stupid and poorly thought out. But that's kind of generally his style so far.
He
it
just thinks
seems.
that
So I
nobody
guess-
is ever going to notice a missing
Right.
car.
Right. And but maybe that's what he was doing anyway. He was like fudging. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. When you think about it like that, it just seems so stupid.
Yeah. And also, it's not like this is a pretty desperate plan. His plan.
Yeah.
But it's not the only thing he has going. He has other plans happening at the same time.
We had this possible deal that
for the land, for the parking lot, right?
And made everything okay because he had it all worked out and he actually did something good for once, poor guy.
And dude,
and
the
is
thing
going to
is
have it stripped away from him.
$750,000 for that thing, 10% finder's fee, $75,000. Like that's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
Take it.
But he needed
like 900,000.
Wouldn't have helped.
Something.
Yeah, it's like chump
he
change.
needed more than that to not get in trouble.
Yeah. So, and that's curious. So it seems like he's on a deadline for this money, right? Because he's doing like multiple things at once.
Right.
But
well, he knew that they were closing in on him because.
But we don't see the people threatening him at all in the entire movie.
No, but we do hear him on the phone that they're about to escalate it. Like we hear the guy on the phone telling Macy's character that, hey, I got to escalate this.
When? I don't remember that.
The guy that was like, I'm out of my patience is thin or whatever.
Yeah. My patience running thin. I'm going to have to escalate this. I don't know to who something details. But
wait. No,
it was about the event.
That's about the car thing.
Right. But that's why he needs the money. He needs the money because of the car serial number.
Right, the serial number.
So it's not the mafia like threatening violence.
No, it's just a banker.
No, it was just he's screwing out. He's like been forging these serial numbers to get money. I think he's been saying he's been selling cars that he hasn't been selling to get the commission for that. But so then he has to fake the paperwork for these sold cars. But the problem is these cars haven't actually been sold.
Damn.
I'm just sort of putting it together here. So this is what the hammer is about to fall on.
So how big is their lot where they have all these extra cars just sitting around?
Right. So what happens to the cars that he claims to have sold?
Stack them up vertically. One spot, 100 cars.
No, they weren't actually cars. So then he has this problem that he doesn't have actual serial numbers for the cars that were sold because he faked it. So that's why he's fudging the serial numbers on the cars.
So it's not so his like fear is that they're going to be like, well, I guess you'd go to prison for that.
Yeah, he's been selling cars that don't exist.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like, he didn't want all the violence to happen, I guess, and he's too stupid to have seen it coming. So, yeah, that kind of makes sense as a motive to go that crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, why not?
The incompetent villain, I don't know if we get many of these. It's so well done in his case. I don't know. Not only is he a villain, but he's not like some mastermind or anything like that.
He's just dumb.
Yeah. He's dumb and desperate, and you still see you can almost feel sorry for him because he plays that you can see such desperation and bewilderment and exasperation in how he does it, that he still is almost sympathetic.
Yeah. I mean, he's like screaming at the end. He's like a child almost. And you're like, well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like you almost feel sorry for the dude because he's like,
there's nothing he can do. He just went further and further into the shit.
And I think it's too because he's just overmatched, even by his father-in-law. Even when he actually comes up with something, it's going to get taken away from him because he doesn't have the power.
It's also because his father-in-law is a complete dickhead.
Well, and he's just a kind of a wimp too. Because if you're in that kind of a hole, I mean, the only thing you can do is ask for help. You shouldn't be doing this. Hire two guys you don't know to somewhat kidnap your wife. Like, the dumb shit was never cars.
Dude, he's such a spineless person against his father-in-law because the scene where the father's like, "I'm doing this. This is my deal." He's like, I would be like, "Dude, no, this is my wife. She could die. This is what they said. End of story.
Yeah.
Like, I will fight you for this."
Right. Right.
And in the fact that he let him do it was
he's a pushover.
Because how is he going to get the money? The reason he was following him is because he was like, "Oh, I need to figure out how to get like the $900,000 that Steve Buscemi doesn't know that he's about to get, and I'll figure it out when I get there. But I just got to get there because this shit's happening right now. Oh God,
right?
So yeah, he's kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
There was a line in the beginning when they were questioning William H. Macy's character to why he wanted his own wife kidnapped. And they were like, "Why don't you just ask for the money? Ask your wife." Then he just keeps like explaining it off. At the end of the conversation, Steve Buscemi says, "You're asking us to perform this task, but you won't. Fuck it. Let's take a look at that Sierra or whatever."
Right.
What was he gonna say?
So one of the things about Simi's character is he has his limits too. Like he gets to some point where he can't articulate things, and then he just gives up.
So he just got bored of talking, you think?
Not bored. He's just like, he can't express what he's trying to think. He's not smart enough to put it all together. He has like a feeling about things, and then he just sort of gives up. I mean, there's a couple of times where he's like trying to find words and stuff like that, and explain himself, and he just can't do it. And so he just gives up and moves on.
Right.
And that's just, I think that's kind of, that was what I was kind of interpreting that as. He's just like, he's like almost there. He's almost like got it all put together about how it's a really bad deal and he should get an explanation. But then it's just too much. It's either too much work or he just can't do it. He just can't. So he's just like, fine.
Fuck it.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Pancakes. The guy likes pancakes. I thought that was pretty funny. It's kind of another parallel to the Big Lebowski. That guy also, they get the Lindenberger pancake
Oh,
in the Waffle House.
Yeah, Stormare's got his own band,
Yeah, did you hear about that, TC?
No, I didn't know that.
The blonde from Fargo
is the name of the band.
And that's what he's still going off these days? Or it's like a funny
I don't know.
idea?
I don't know these days. I mean, dude is a great actor. He's been in a lot of fun stuff, but
he's been in a lot of really good Volkswagen commercials too.
It's just like a fun thing he does on the side.
Really?
Is that what it is?
I think it's Volkswagen,
I don't
right?
know. They've got like 6 songs I found on Google Play, and they're all about Christmas. So I don't know. There's like they had a Christmas themed album of 6 songs. That's all I
Sounds
found. So.
freaking terrible.
Yeah, he's Swedish, I think. Is he Swedish?
Yes, Swedish.
Yeah,
And he actually
more-
curses in Swedish in this movie when he's chasing the 2 people down the street in the car. He says F and C or something like that. No beeps necessary there.
Yeah.
You've ran out of the capacity of beeps so far. This one.
Wait, this Fargo's R, right?
Yes.
So why would we beep?
We beep the C word out because it's dirty, John. It's a dirty word.
Is the C word beyond R?
No, but I beep it out anyway because we're a family R-rated podcast.
Exactly. I was about to say exactly. I was about to use the F word myself. So yes.
I use it all the time. If anybody doesn't notice.
The C word, yeah, just not on the podcast, but out on real life, it's really gets them in trouble a lot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Another scene that I thought was like equally parts scary and funny is when they're breaking into the house. When the wife is just kind of sitting there staring at
that
him.
was scary. That was scary.
You think it was funny too, though, or just scary?
Well, it was almost comical the way she was watching them slowly realizing what was happening.
Yeah.
Like that moment seemed almost comical where she just couldn't comprehend what was going on. And she's like, ooh, almost like just puzzled.
Yeah.
I mean, it would shock the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially there.
But otherwise, I don't know. It's just pretty terrifying.
I thought when she popped out of the shower and started running down the hallway, I was laughing pretty hard.
Really?
Yeah.
You sick bastard.
It's kind of funny. It's a little slapstick. But then, like, she falls down the stairs and the guy's slowly, and you're like, oh, no.
Real quick. Oh, geez, she's down.
Yeah. I thought she was dead the first time I ever watched this.
Yeah, I agree.
At the stair part.
Yeah. I was watching it with Nikki who thought she was dead, too.
This is the first time Nikki's seen it?
No. She dies later.
Yeah. Way to ruin that
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Whoops. Whoops. You know,
Whoa,
Steve Buscemi.
That was a good one.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
One more time, Denny.
Oh, whoopsie.
Nice.
You can tell John likes it because he's still laughing. You can't even hear him laugh yet.
He's probably researching something else now.
I'm trying to stay ahead of you, man.
So
Actually, hang on. Be right back. Won't take long.
Won't take long. You ever eaten Arby's, TC?
Yeah.
Have you? How does it compare to like other fast food places?
Same.
It's the exact same.
Yeah.
Isn't it like
You've never had Arby's?
No. They don't
Really?
they don't have them like out in Massachusetts.
Yeah, they do.
Where?
They had them in Worcester.
Oh.
They don't have them in Worcester.
Boston.
Yeah, probably. They might have them downtown.
Really?
Somewhere.
I've never seen an Arby's before.
Let's look up Arby's Boston.
Arby's Boston. Marlboro is the closest one.
Oh, and in Worcester.
Yeah.
Solomon Pond Mall and Auburn. Oh, so they got rid of the Worcester location.
All right, good. What are you guys talking about? Arby's?
Arby's.
Yeah, we're talking about
Yes,
Arby's. There's
it's
only
very
2 of them
popular
in
here.
Boston.
Is it?
Yeah. There's
There's only
always
2
a
of
pretty
them.
long line there
A line?
of cars in the drive-through.
Oh.
I feel like Arby's used to be way more popular because there's only fucking 3 of them in Mass.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've never seen an Arby's ever.
I think we
You're
got
not,
at least
like missing
2.
much.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like roast beef sandwiches, right?
Yeah. They've got
Yeah,
Euros
and
now.
other sandwich, and they've got chicken sandwiches and other stuff.
We've got a few out here in California.
Might have to find one. I got a Jack in the Box near me too. That's new to
Yeah,
me.
we got
Those
2.
are, you can skip that one.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know. We would when after a night of drinking, going and getting like their sourdough burgers.
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good.
Well, that's different.
Because they're open like 24 hours.
If
I
you're
meant
drunk,
like
eating a lot of
normal. Yeah, if you're drunk, eat whatever you want. But if you're
I
normal
was gonna say,
living,
normal. What should we have for dinner, honey? Yes, I
no,
agree.
not
Yeah,
Jack in
yeah.
the Box.
Yeah. Yeah, she eats a lot of fast food in this, which is pretty funny. Seems like everybody does.
Mhm.
Well, she's also pregnant. So
Yeah.
she's hungry
They're
all the time.
always eating. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you gotta eat with the cold. You know, you gotta build up
True.
some kind of layers.
Also,
True, that's also
dude,
true.
when did Nikki ever go to buffets when she was pregnant? That seems like a really good idea.
Yeah, well, Nikki, of course not. She's very careful,
Right.
About eating this gross
and
buffet
she's
food.
just careful in general. So yeah,
She's not going there.
John, are you
I
talking
actually
shit on
don't
people
like-
who get
I don't
pregnant
like
and
a
go
buffet.
to buffets?
I don't like a buffet
No,
either.
no sprouts, no nothing. I mean, buffets are pretty scary places, but
Yeah, I'm good with the buffet.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
to a sushi buffet once before.
There's one in San Diego that we went to. It was okay.
Yeah, it's always okay,
But
right?
So, yeah.
You always got to wait for them to bring a
Okay.
new tray out because even like sushi, 15 minutes out, it gets kind of dry.
Yeah. Dry. It's
very-
not good.
No, it's not.
Not good at all.
Like I'm probably not going to get
Yeah.
sick, but I wish I could spit this out right
But
now.
I wish this wasn't so
all right,
chewy.
well, now I know
'cause-
I'll skip the sushi fucking...
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
So Steve Buscemi tries to bribe the cop. Is that what happens at that scene?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, with the $50? Oh,
Why?
yeah.
Why?
Because he's not from there.
So that's a good point. Like, but maybe he doesn't have the ID tags that he needs. They're just not there, which that seems like a oversight.
But isn't it just
Yeah.
like a ticketable offense? It's not like they're going to go to prison for not having the tags on.
Right. That's true.
So that he already knows he admitted to it. So what
But
is
he might
bribing
take the
him for?
car. He might take the car, the cop.
They wouldn't do that, right?
Yeah, they might.
If you just bought a car and you fucked up like that, I don't think
But
they
you don't
would
have
tow
any
your car.
registration. You got nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good point. Did they not have a registration?
I don't think they had anything.
He didn't fake it or anything? Like a fake one?
I don't think so.
That's a good point.
I think
guess.
that was the 50. The 50 was the registration and the tags.
Yeah.
right. Maybe.
Maybe if he had done 100, he would have got off of it.
No.
It's the 80s, we're talking
I
about
don't
100's
think
a lot of
I don't
bucks.
think you would have bribed
Not that
the
guy.
state trooper. Not the state trooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. The stadiums are tough.
What did he say? Well, what's
Right.
this then?
So what's this then?
I don't remember what he said, but
That sounds like something they would say.
Put that back in your pocket, please.
The bottom of the vehicle.
hey, do we have the Blues Brothers? We don't.
Nope.
I think that's a travesty.
Dude, there's also,
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. What the hell is the name of that? Caddyshack is not on this list either.
Really?
We get freaking Groundhog Day and there's no Caddyshack or Blues Brothers.
These
That's sad.
users are just punk.
Yeah. I mean, comedies are tough, but Groundhog Day is the worst.
I mean, yeah, that was also something you watch on TNT.
Some people love it. Some people love it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Shot in the face scene, funny and terrifying. Another one. It's both.
Oh man. Oh, I mean, it was really funny. And
You should have
also
seen the other
terrifying.
guy.
Right, but when he gets to the teller when he gets to the parking lot attendant after he had the previous scene with the parking lot attendant, so you know what's coming.
Yeah.
Here. You don't even have to show the scene at that point.
And it was a different
You know.
guy too, so that was too
Oh,
bad.
I know, but you know that he's not gonna tolerate that. Well, you got to pay your money. It's just like, it's not gonna go well.
Yeah. So you thought that was not funny? Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
not.
I thought it was funny, but still sad and terrifying that the poor attendant is dead.
Dead.
Um,
It's another. Yeah.
It's again it's well constructed, right? Like after you have the where he initially like just had to turn around. And one thing that was also funny is just not necessarily funny, but the parking lot scene where you see Steve Buscemi like wind his way through the parking lot. And I don't know, maybe that's just an everywhere thing, but I feel like people here drive crazy in parking lots. They don't drive in straight lines. So you have to be like careful because people just seem to cut through all the time. And I don't know if
Is that what
was
that one
intentional
shot
or not.
is? When he like
There's a
circles
one shot.
around?
He's like taking like the most complicated path.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
to
wasn't
his
sure
endpoint.
what that. I thought that was just them messing around or something.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to think hard to get there.
I thought it was because they were drawing pretty like designs on the snow that they were picking up on the
Oh.
camera.
Oh, really? I don't know. I mean, I love those scenes. It really evokes a feeling having been in these desolated parking lots in winter where you're like walking to your car. I mean, there's definitely a feeling there, but yeah.
That's funny because there was actually that scene, the really nice top-down shot.
And
first half of the
I
movie.
don't think desolated is a word, by the way.
No, but
Desolate.
I know what you mean, though. That's all that matters.
Yes,
That's
well,
what language
I mean,
is, John.
we can-
That's what it
That's
is.
right. It's about communication.
It is.
Right. Not about facts.
No. And correctness and dictionaries and all that stupid shit. No.
Grammar.
Uh,
What?
But so that scene where they have like the top-down shot of the car and it's the only car in the parking lot and it's like a few planters around it. It's almost an isometric shot.
Yeah.
You have any idea what I'm talking about? They were planning, either way, there's a shot where it's just one car. They had 50 cars off camera. They were planning on moving them all into this parking lot at some point to just make it, into a real parking lot looking type of thing.
Oh, I see.
But when they had it like up high where the camera was, Roger Deakins, the cinematographer, said like, let's just leave it. One car. It looks great. Let's just use it this way.
Yeah.
So that was actually, they weren't planning on doing that, but it made it more realistic for you.
Right.
It's because it looked nice.
Yeah. Well, it gives you the sense of, I don't know. I mean, there's, the sort of like quiet loneliness of like going to your car after you've just arrived from like a 12 a.m. flight. I've had that happen.
Yeah.
So.
It's all cold. You're making footprints.
It's all cold. Yeah.
He kills the wife anyway. Was that a part of their plan? Now that we talked about
no.
that.
I think so.
No, Stormare is just psycho.
I think he might have, though, because if Stormare's plan, another one of my questions towards the end was, why does he kill Buscemi? And we might have, like, was he always planning to kill Buscemi?
Oh, and just take the money?
Was he, and take his money and then also kill the wife? Like, was that the plan from the get-go on his part? And he kills her when he's gone to get the money. So he knows he's not going to have to interact with Steve Buscemi afterwards. So he's not going to really be able to say, like, why did you do that? This is bad. It's like the end of their time together.
Maybe that's
he could have lied about her shrieking because she didn't shriek the entire time. So he could have been lying about that. He could have just killed her for the sake of killing her and then killed Steve Buscemi.
I think he killed her for the sake of killing her because of the way the camera would dwell on,
he stared at her, right?
Yeah. Like she was whimpering and screaming, and they showed him just staring at her like he wanted to do this.
Yes.
Like that was why he killed her.
I mean, he seemed like he was having fun killing everyone else.
Yeah. So I think that was it, plain and simple, is that he was like just sort of either annoyed. You can't tell with him because he's only got one expression in the whole film.
It's the I'm going to kill you face.
He's like, he's either annoyed or looking forward to it, or both. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, filling out some character motivations here. All right.
All right.
Yeah. So that's all I have for the movie. You have any more thoughts on the movie? I got some trivia. I'll go through it quickly if you don't have any thoughts.
No, I don't know is there anything else that was, I mean, yeah, I think you really nailed it right out of the gate in terms of its layers, in terms of being both funny and warm and terrifying at the same time in places.
Where would you rank this in your own personal favorites for a Coen brother movie? We have one more on the list, I think.
It's tough because they were different. I feel like No Country for Old Men was more dark in general.
It was only dark. There was no comedy.
It was a lot more subdued as well compared to this one.
No. There was comedy in terms of Tommy Lee Jones and the way he interacted with his deputy.
You're right, Sarah.
But that was about it. But I agree. Otherwise, generally just freaking dark.
Yeah.
And much more about tension and violence than this one. So I don't know. I feel like they're different. When we get to Big Lebowski, it's much more lighthearted, life-affirming sort of in general.
Is it?
Well, we shall see.
We'll see. Future episodes.
Nice.
Yes.
But
anyway, so I don't know. It's hard to rank them because I feel like they're different.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's a good,
Easy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So yeah, the commentary was with Roger Deakins, which I was extremely excited about because he's like one of the best cinematographers ever.
Oh,
wow.
Right. Okay.
He does like most of the Coen Brothers movies. He won last year for the new Blade Runner movie for the first time. He had 11 nominations without a win before last year. So that's rough
that's
for him.
crazy.
Yeah. So he's good. He didn't talk very much. I would say 70% of it was total silence. And the last portion of it was completely silent. He just like watched the last 20 minutes of the movie without saying anything. And when the credits started rolling, he's just like, oh man, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. That was really good. I forgot how much I like that.
You just stopped realizing he was on a commentary. Started watching the film.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do?
Great.
Imagine I'm sitting next to Roger Deakins and we're watching it in silence together. That's not fun. I can do that with any movie without commentary tracks. And I do.
There's the great anecdote of Siskel and Ebert watching this movie, and Siskel during the movie saying to Ebert, "This is why we love movies."
Yeah. They said that was one of their best movies they've ever seen.
Yeah.
As they were watching it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, but there was some good information. This movie shot in Minnesota and Canada, and they had to move around a lot because when it was shot in 95, it was the least snowy winter in 100 years. And they banked on being able to use the snow. So they pretty much had to run around to where the snowstorms were and change location all the time to have snow. in places. There are a few shots, like on one of the shots when he's on top of the parking garage. There's snow all over the ground. If you look far back at the parking garage, the ground, like way in the background, doesn't have any snow on it.
Oh.
Because they made snow for the entire thing, but it's melting. And they started way in the back, made the snow, and by the time they were done with the front and ready to shoot, the stuff in the back was melting. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So there was a bunch of stuff like that. They created a lot of snow. They ran around to a lot of different places. John, did you look up what the budget was for this movie?
No, I did not.
Would you have a guess?
Not at all. I would say 60 million.
PC?
I don't know. 60 million? Really?
60 million?
I'm not good with money. I tell you.
Like, thinking to myself, like, that seems like excessive for
That's
this.
a lot, yeah.
I don't know,
really?
20?
Not these days.
25?
7.
Okay, so there you go. 60.
That's pretty damn low.
That's very low. But there's not much to it. Single
Extreme
cam.
low. Well,
right?
but shooting out in the winter, you think that, I don't know, you got to keep
Single
everybody
cam,
warm.
skeleton crew.
Yeah. Not that
7
many
million,
actors
huh?
really on screen at any time.
I guess so.
Not big name.
A-list stars necessarily, like really good actors, but not like big Hollywood names either.
Well, and bigger now than they were then, even.
For sure.
Oh, yeah,
this movie
that's
definitely
true.
made their careers.
That's true.
Yeah, 7 million is not that much. So they did the Hudsucker Proxy right before this one, and it was a much bigger budget movie, and it bombed hard.
That one
I
had
didn't
Tim
like that one.
Robbins. Oh, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it was weird.
I liked it.
That's
I
the one where
thought
the
it
guy
was
like
funny.
jumps out the window in the beginning, and then it's all about
Yep.
hula hoops and
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
For the kids.
weird movie. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to watch it again, but I remember also not thinking it was that great. But sometimes the Coen Brothers movies do that. They're better like on the second viewing or whatever, just because you're not expecting it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The Coens plan a lot in advance, and therefore they know like the camera angles and all that stuff they want. They storyboard everything, so they don't ever shoot cover. There's never a different camera angle they get just to be safe. There's never a way they shoot a scene just to be safe.
They know what they want.
They know exactly what they want, and when they get it, they know and they move on.
Right. It's great. It's pro.
Yeah. Since there was like no snow a lot of the time, Roger Deakins had time to go around and scout additional places to shoot and like mark places while they couldn't shoot because there was no snow. So a lot of like the scenery shots were kind of insert shots, like taken at completely separate times and weren't in the storyboards. They were just used for atmosphere and stuff because they had time to plan it and stuff like that.
Cool.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but there is only 2 instances of fancy camera movements. And by fancy, I mean very basically anything
like
but a static shot. Yeah.
Oh.
Almost the entire time, it's like over the shoulder singles.
And maybe this is a Coen Brothers thing, I don't know, but you don't ever get the sense that the camera is like saying, hey, look at this.
Look at this. Right.
I'm going to disagree with that a lot.
Really?
Especially with The Big Lebowski. There's a lot of fancy stuff in The Big Lebowski.
Oh, there's fancy stuff. I need to pay attention to it when we look at the Big Lebowski. I'm just thinking of coming after like Cool Hand Luke, where they're like, the camera's like going, hey, see this?
Hey.
Check this out.
Yeah.
Look at this. I don't get the sense of that happening with the camera.
Like, we're about to reveal something. Take it to the left. Oh, there it is.
Maybe it's just because it feels very natural. I mean, like you can see, I'm sure the camera work is like when we're looking at how he's about, you're giving this foreshadowing of how he's going to kill the wife, and he's looking at her, and then
it's a very slow, still zoom in.
Yeah, it just feels more fluid. I don't know. It doesn't feel like, hey, look at me. It's more like it just sort of like happens.
Yeah. And so there's only 2 scenes. So the scene where Marge is kind of going to see the guy putting the other guy in the wood chipper, there's a tracking shot with her like going down around the house. And then the only other one is there's a handheld shot when William H. Macy's getting caught by the cops.
Okay.
That's it. Every other shot in this movie is like a static shot with just either a slow zoom and there's no pans or anything. Like there's nothing like that. And that was totally intentional because it played into the whole thing where they wanted to do that. This is a true story. They wanted it to seem like you were watching something that was really happening as opposed to a movie. And I think as much as you could do that in a movie, it worked pretty good.
Right.
Yeah. So you said the Coens, why were they not both given credit for directing?
I think,
why did that happen?
I tried to look this up because I think it has to do with the Hollywood Foreign Press not acknowledging 2 directors on the same movie for awards.
Huh.
Because we talked about that before, how like, what's his name from Sin City had to leave the Hollywood Foreign Press Association to make it because he co-directed it with Frank Miller.
Okay.
So it was like taken out of consideration. It's a weird rule, and I think that might be what it is, but I couldn't find anything on it. But if you listen to like anybody talk about them, they're both there. They're both directing the entire time. They both write and both direct, and they both get writing credits, but only Joel gets directing credits. So they might have just flipped a coin one day and be like, well, you win. Who cares? We're both making money. We're both good, you know?
And we're both doing it together, so what the hell do we care?
And everybody working on it like knows how we work, so it's not like I'm not getting credit for this. They know. Yeah, and they also, Roger Deakins, like, you would think with two different people, you get like, it'd be extra confusing because it'd be like different opinions and things, and it's like somehow they have the exact same thoughts and everything, and it's even better because it's like there's double the amount of available time you have to ask the director questions because there's two of them.
And since they think so much alike, it works.
These guys are like focused. I mean, man, they like that. That's what we were talking about with No Country for Old Men as well. Like this, they have this like very singular vision about what is to be done here.
Yeah, and they talk about it. So like all the questions are gone completely. Like the backstory is created to the characters. So even if they're like, what are my exact feelings here? They could go through the story and be like, all right, they would think this way because this is the kind of person that they are. And they probably both,
crazy.
You know, they know that. The Paul Bunyan statue was made for the movie.
Nice.
Really? I thought it was part of a theme park.
So there's a theme park outside of Bismarck or something that has Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox, which Margie says, she's like, Babe the Blue Ox, but Babe the Blue Ox is not at the statue, right? It's just Paul Bunyan.
No, it's just Paul.
Yeah. And that statue is made for the movie, and people drove by it and they're like, what is this for? They had no idea what it was.
Wow.
The in case you ever watch this movie again, the scene where she's hiding in the shower in the bathroom kidnapping scene, that's a set. And if you look out the window, there's a house kind of in the background. That's a set dressing. It's not outside.
Oh, wow.
It's very convincing.
You never know it.
Yeah. $7 million budget. Wow. Shot car wreck in multiple locations, chasing the snow. So that upturned car, they had to upturn a car multiple times because the snow kept melting and they couldn't finish that scene before the snow would go away.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Yeah. And that sounded like the hardest one that they had to move for because that's a friggin' like, what kind of machine do you flip a car back over and do you drive that car to the next one and flip it over again? Probably.
I don't know. You get everybody on the set to like, all right, let's flip it over, boys.
Imagine. I don't
think you're
so.
strong enough.
I don't think so.
You'd have to get some kind of crane.
You got to have something. Yeah.
Really? I don't know. You think you get like 10 people on one side that you could flip the car out of?
Fuck no. No.
I have no sense.
Haven't you
of such
seen
a thing.
street riots before? There's like 15 people on a side. They can barely get it moving.
Yeah, and you're on snow. You'd have to have like ice climbing boots on to even get a grip.
Too. I feel like it's just on set too. That would be way too much of a liability.
Yeah.
Like someone could die.
I got crushed by the car.
Shit.
Why? Because we were trying to flip it over in the snow.
No, we didn't have a crane. Yeah.
Oh, they have cranes for shots. Maybe they just got are those things like load-bearing cranes? I don't know. Do they make separate ones just for dinky cameramen?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
Easier to move.
Different kind of crane. Yeah. One's got like some serious pneumatic and like compressed whatever air in order to get it to take the load, and one's just like a thing you put the camera on.
Yeah, that would make sense cost-wise for sure.
Yeah.
All the cloud cover stuff, they had to wait to shoot with a cloud cover. So like the days, it was kind of like, I thought of like Jaws, like how they had to wait for all the boats to get off the horizon. And they're like, all right, we got this like 2 minutes, freaking shoot this thing. Yeah. So they would wait. It looks like it's cloudy all the time, but it's really just, they're getting like 5-minute snippets of when the clouds are behind the shot that they're trying to get.
Oh. Wow.
Continuity is pretty good in that respect. But there was one scene where Buscemi goes to that parking lot for the first time and kind of argues with that parking lot guy. Super sunny out. Only scene in the movie where it's really sunny, bright blue sky. Deakins hates it.
Nice.
It's like sometimes you just don't have a choice. You're like running out of time. It's a sunny day. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I think like, isn't there a scene? There's also a scene at the end where the plow truck is shown.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be there, but some state worker ignored their like signs to please don't.
Yeah. Because it was a blizzard. He's like, fuck that. Yeah. I got to go.
It's my job.
Yeah. The dead cop on the ground was actually the actor. He was laying in the snow for that scene.
Damn.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like a good way to do that.
Couldn't get a dummy?
Yeah, right?
Well, maybe he had something to protect his face or something from the snow. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Or he's just like over enthusiastic actor.
Yeah.
No, man, I got it, dude. I got it. No, man. Oh, it's cool, man.
I'm all right.
No, I'm good. I'm all right. Like frozen. He's got frostbite. I'm good. I'm good. Don't worry about it. Just keep on going. I'll stay.
No wonder we haven't seen him. His face is gone.
Yeah.
This is Bobby Boy's big chance.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
No colors in Coen Brothers script. I think I might have said this for the No Country for Old Men. Somebody else actually said this, that so TC might know this, or, generally if you get a script for a movie, there are rewrites during the shoot and you get new pages and there are different colors for the different levels of rewrites. So by the end of a shoot, your pages are white and blue and red and orange and all these different colors for the revisions. But Coen Brothers movies always are completely white and they're the only people that have
do it
like
that way?
Yeah.
So they don't track their revisions?
They don't revise.
Oh, they don't revise.
Yeah.
I totally missed the point of that.
They're totally 100% like done with the script when they start.
They're like,
making
we
the
don't
movie.
fuck with the script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no room for, like, the way they make it. There's no room. I think most of the revisions probably come with like testing and like studio executives being like, oh, we should do it this way. And you're like, all right, cool. How are we going to do that? Rewrite this part. Okay. Yeah, they don't do that.
Notes. I have notes.
I know better than you do because I have more money than you do.
They all sound like that.
Yes, they do. Assholes. Thanks for finding the movies though, assholes.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was one scene that was cut from the movie.
What was
and it was
that?
Norm ice fishing by himself.
Oh,
Yeah. Poor Norm.
that makes sense. I guess.
Does it?
Doesn't.
Sounds boring.
You don't know what else it contributes, but it just shows you maybe more of the life.
That's funny, John, because that's exactly what Roger Deakins says. He's like, well, you think that it should, like, it's cut because it didn't have anything to do with the movie, but then you look at that Mike scene in the bar, and that also could have been cut. And he said that. And I was like, yes. You also thought that scene was pointless.
I'd rather see Norm ice fishing than watch poor Mike be pathetic.
Yeah. I don't know, though. I don't know. That scene was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
It's a weird one.
I felt so bad for the guy.
I think the last thing, this isn't part of the commentary, but they were only in Fargo for like one scene in this movie.
Right. But they didn't like the name of the Bernard or whatever it was.
Brainerd.
Brainerd. They didn't think that made for a very good film title.
They could have named it Twin Cities. That would have been pretty good.
Fargo works great.
Yeah, but they were only there for one scene.
I know, but the word Fargo just has the word far in it. I mean, it just sounds desolate.
What about murder, don't you know?
Murder, yeah?
Murder, you betcha.
Yeah, murder, you betcha.
No, Danny, I don't think so.
Oh, come on. Kidnapping.
I think it's a great example of just having, I mean, the word doesn't have to mean necessarily anything or be related too directly to what the movie is about, but I don't know. Fargo means far away and desolate. I don't know. I think it's a very smart choice.
Oh, and I almost forgot to mention this. Did you hear about the person who went looking for this money because they thought it was a true story and they died looking for it in Minnesota?
What?
Oh, God,
an
no,
idiot.
really?
So that didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
But it's enough of an urban legend where there were like actual news stories running papers back in the early 2000s when this person died. And they actually made a movie about it.
Jesus.
Yeah, the movie is called Kumiko, the Treasure Hunter. It was made in 2014, and it was about a person who was like didn't like their job, and they saw this movie, and they decided to go to Michigan to find it, and they end up dying.
So he was looking for the stupid little red scraper?
Yeah.
Because that would have worked.
Yeah, definitely. Just no snow is ever going to happen again. That's for sure.
No, we'll find it.
At the same time, this is not a true story.
It's not, but it was like, so people thought it was a true story for a long time because.
So they made a movie about the true story that wasn't?
Yes. They made a movie about a rumor, I guess. But it included this movie in it, which is kind of funny.
Wow.
Somebody watched Fargo and did stuff in a movie.
Right. And then you have the TV series that came afterwards.
Yeah. And that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I like it.
The first season I liked. The second season
I like the second season a lot.
I haven't seen the third with Ewan McGregor.
I haven't seen that one either because it's not free yet.
Me either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Hulu. Get that shit on there.
The first one was really good.
You don't like the second one?
I liked it. I didn't like it as much as the first.
I like Patrick Wilson a lot.
Yeah, he was good.
He's good.
I agree.
So that's all I got, guys. What do you think?
Hey,
what do you say?
That was a good one.
Look at the
That's
time.
fun.
This is a long one. Woo.
Oh, yeah, an hour and a half.
Yeah. Cool.
It's like a year and a half we started this, and then an hour and a half ago we started this. So
yes.
there you go.
It's always 1.5.
Exactly.
1.5.
It's all lining up, baby.
Yeah. So, TC, would you put this in your top 250?
Yes.
And John, would you?
Beat you.
Yeah.
You win. I would too.
Beat you.
Yes.
That's also a Mission 250 record, I think, to have. This is our first film to be directed by the same group to be a top 250.
Wait, what? Isn't it the only group of directors?
Are we tracking all this? Is there a database somewhere? We should be tracking this.
I'm making this up at this point, I think. But doesn't it? I don't think we have first of all, it's not like we have 2 Hitchcock films in the top 250, for example.
Yeah, we do. There's 7 of them.
Oh, God.
No, I'm about our personal top 250. Will we agree on this?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Honestly, I think it's becoming
Spielberg.
apparent to see we are not exactly keeping track of this.
Spielberg?
Yeah, we should be.
We've had Jaws, but did we all put Jaws in our personal top 250?
I think
I don't remember. We're going to have to go back and listen.
I definitely did. I put it as my number 1 as the top 50.
We need to scrub through the end of all these and then track it and see where we're at.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And then we also, I think we all liked Catch Me If You Can, even though I don't think you put that one on there, John.
Oh, no way. No, I didn't put that on the top 250. No way.
I did. I think TZ did too. That's a good movie.
I think I might have.
It's okay.
So I think you might be right, actually. Because I can't think of anything else that we've done.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
that might be wrong, but hey, we've talked for a little bit longer, so that's good.
All right. Yeah. Well, what do we got next week?
Next week, we got a 3-hour-long movie from 1976 called The Message. The synopsis is, this epic historical drama chronicles the life and times of Muhammad and serves as an introduction to early Islamic history.
All right.
So we're going to learn some stuff.
Hey,
it could be good.
It could be.
It could be.
It could be very educational.
It's not some, woman in a fucking house that can't go in a room. So,
or it's not some other woman in a house that's trying to make out with some scandalous little scoundrel dude.
Or just like some dude doing dumb shit. So,
if this movie is about a woman in a house, I'm going to really be pissed off.
I swear to God, if there's another room that they can't go into, I'm shutting it off. Mulligan.
That's queuing up the mulligan for when that happens.
That's right.
Yeah.
No more rooms.
Closed off rooms.
Oh,
Click.
God.
Yep. Cool. Well, yes. Thanks for listening, everybody. Go to our website, mission250filmcast.com. Click buttons, find other movies and stuff, like on your favorite podcast app, and also Facebook and Twitter. And that's it, I think.
Oh, yeah.
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 Take her out there, guys. Take her out there.
Timmy, take us out, Timmy.
See you later, guys.